What's up, everybody? My name is Parasite. Welcome back to the Tactic Tester with Atletico Madrid. I've got a different kind of tactic. It's not a weird in terms of shape, really. It's not really a bog standard shape. Not something you probably really ever see. It's not super different than what I've seen in other teams use, but it's a little different, just a little bit weird in terms of where the positions all lay. But the biggest thing that really I'm trying to test here with this tactic is some roles that I've rarely, if ever, used in Football Manager. A couple new roles, a couple roles that have been in the game for a long time that just are rarely used. And I thought I'd try multiple different kind of weird roles all in the same tactic. I played this all around. I wanted a halfback. I wanted to try out a halfback. I've rarely ever used a halfback. I like the idea of a halfback, so I wanted to see how it performs, and then I just kind of started building, and it came out like it did. So, why don't I show you the tactic? This is what we're going to be working with for this one season save with Atletico Madrid of the Tactic Tester. This is the tactic. It's a 4-3-2-1. Obviously not the weirdest shape, but having defensive midfielders instead of any central midfielders is a little bit different than what you'd usually see with this shape. Usually, you see this shape quite a bit, like the Christmas tree, but it'd be 3 central midfielders, 2 attacking midfielders, 1 striker. So I brought those guys all the way back to defensive midfield because I wanted a halfback. So I needed a halfback there, and I decided on 2 Segundo Volantes to flank him either side. I wanted guys that would get forward. I haven't used Segundo Volantes very often, so I thought I might as well test that role out. And I feel like it works for this Atletico Madrid team. Saul and Koke are pretty decent Segundo Volantes. I think Ndogby is a very good halfback. You can also see something kind of unique because I'm using 2 Trequartistas at attacking mid. So that's kind of the reason why I pulled these guys back to a defensive midfielder, because I thought of maybe wanting to use Trequartistas. And they don't do a whole lot defensively, so I really needed 3 very defensive players to kind of give the back line some protection, because they're not going to get a whole lot from the attacking midfielders or the striker, really. These guys are mostly going to stay up the pitch, looking to counterattack, looking to turn into quick attacks, turn takeovers in play into quick attacks. And that's kind of the way I'm building it. I'm not going super direct. I'm going slightly more direct. So I'm kind of going counterattack, but I'm not going full. Obviously, I'm going attacking. I think because I have the 3 defensive midfielders, it's going to be solid defensively. So I want these guys to push forward. I want them to have an attacking mentality. So I went with attacking. I've got another couple 2 tactics too, but before I get to those, I'll go through the in possession, in transition, and out of possession tactic. So in possession, I'm playing out of the defense, focusing play through the middle because we have 5 players in the center of the pitch, and a striker, working the ball into the box, running at the defense, slightly more direct passing, and extremely high tempo. Some of these are kind of standard ones that I like to at least start with on every single one of my tactics. I might, change them a little bit. If you see my last tactic tester, I started with slightly more direct and extremely high tempo with our tactic with Bayer Leverkusen, and it just didn't work. So I eventually had to change it to slightly shorter and slightly lower tempo. But this is what I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with slightly more direct, extremely high. I think it works with this tactic with the Trequartistas being not coming back defensively a lot. I think it'll help us get a quick counterattack. And in terms of in transition, I'm counter-pressing and countering, and I'm distributing to the playmaker, which we don't have an actual playmaker, but I'm hoping that they'll count the halfback as the playmaker, because that's who I want to distribute to. I want the halfback to come deep in between the 2 center backs, get possession, and start rotating it up to the Trequartistas, who will feed in the wing backs, who will feed in the striker. So that's kind of the idea behind that. And then out of possession, I'm much higher line of engagement, a standard defensive line, extremely urgent, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in, and force opposition outside. These are all pretty standard to what I usually do on most tactics. Sometimes I'll go a little bit higher line. Usually I won't go much higher, but I'll go either higher or standard. But pressing, I always do. Prevent short goalkeeper distribution, I always do. Get stuck in, I always do. Force opposition outside, I always do. Higher line of engagement, I pretty much always do. So I think it will work. I don't know. I thought the last tactic with Bayer Leverkusen would work too with the way I initially had it set up, and it did not. I had to make some changes. I'm probably going to have to make some changes with this one too. But this is what I'm going to give the first shot at of this tactic. The whole point of this tactic tester is to test out a tactic and tweak it and get it to work if it can work. Some tactics just don't work, but I think this can work. But the other two tactics we've got, just in case we need something else, it's the same pretty much tactic, but it gets more and more attacking. So if we really need a goal and we're late in the game and we're down a goal, like say 70th minute, we need a goal, I'll switch to this, which just moves the Trequartistas up to attacking or up to the striker position. I think Felix and Correa can both do that. They're my starting Trequartistas. So all it is just pushes up the attacking midfielders to strikers. Some of the in possession and out of possession, all that changes. I go from slightly more direct to more direct. I go to more expressive. I stop working the ball into the box. I stop playing out of the defense. I take long kicks, and we push up our defensive line. So we're just really going for a goal. And then I've got an even more attacking, a 85th minute. We have to have a goal. I don't care if we concede. We need to score. I need to throw everyone forward. That's this one. The defensive midfielders go up to center midfield, and they go to Mazzala's on attack and a box-to-box midfielder. Our wingbacks move up to the wingback position and go to complete wingbacks on attack. We completely leave our two center backs completely isolated. Good luck, basically, is all we're saying to them. And then we're going attacking again. I'm actually going to switch to very attacking, I think. Because at this point, we're going very attacking. More direct. I might go extremely. I'm going to start with just more direct. I think other than that, it's pretty much the same. Still distribute over the defense. And this is the same. So it's not a whole lot different from the last tactic. Just a little bit more attacking. I'm considering going extremely direct. At the point that I have to use this, I think we're at the point where we need to go extremely direct and shoot on sight. So I'm going to make those changes. Also, I have low crosses on for all of these. Obviously, that kind of depends on your strikers. I think low crosses in general are the best, but so yeah, I think this is what I'm actually also going to go extremely narrow. And I think that's going to be my ultra attacking, have to get a goal immediately tactic. Distribute quickly as well. So I had to change up a little bit, but yeah, two Trequartistas still. Obviously, I think it really works for these attacking ones because we don't want them to defend. We want them to stay forward. So they might press the center backs and the fullbacks, but that's about as far as they go. They want to be forward, trying to get on counterattacks. This is a very attacking tactic, but I hope I don't have to use it too often. I hope I'm not behind late in the game too often. So this one I'll be more comfortable using because it's still really solid defensively. So I'd be more comfortable using that in like the 70th minute if I need 2 goals. 1 goal even. 60th minute if I need 1 or 2 goals. But this is what we're going to start with pretty much every game. We might start with this against smaller teams. Start with the 2 strikers, but probably not. I think I'm going to stay with this. I really want this to be the tactic that I'm testing. These are just backup plans in case we really need a goal because I still want to win. Like I still want to try to win games as much as possible. Even though this is about testing tactics, but to do that you need to win games. So I think that's going to be the tactic. Set pieces. I think I've done my set pieces. Do I have my set piece takers on here? Yeah, I have done set pieces. So defensively, this is what we're looking like. Our best header, zonally marking the 6-yard box near center. Second best header, marking the 6-yard box near post. Our third best header, zonally marking the 6-yard box far center. And our worst header of the 4, zonally marking the 6-yard box center. And then our best kind of dribbling, attacking, mostly dribbling, speed, playmaker, scorer, finisher, our best player basically, plays in this edge of area role. He looks to pick the ball up from a clearance and drive at the defense, try to get a shot on goal. hopefully get one-on-one with the defender and take him on and beat the goalkeeper. So I think for that, that's going to be João Felix. So this is just the same thing, shifted to the other side. Attacking tactic. Again, our best header lurking at the near post. Our second best header attacking the near post. Our striker attacking the far post. Our most physical player that's left marking the keeper. And then our best player in terms of long shots and creativity and decisions. And obviously you can see everything they need there. So whichever player is best at that, you put them on the edge. And then basically decide between your last two players who you want at coming short that you think can rotate possession back in, put in a cross maybe if the ball hits out to them. And then the other player just attacking from the edge. And your two fullbacks back. Same on the other side. In terms of throw-ins, I don't do free kicks, but in terms of throw-ins, I do attacking ones. Since they changed the long throws, so they don't really work anymore unless you have amazing long throw takers, and we really don't. I've been going to short throws. I'm actually going to change one thing that I've changed recently. I think I'm going to take you. Have two people come short. I think it's better that way. Still want this guy attacking, looking on the edge. Still want this kind of set up the same way you would from a corner. But just have two players come short. Basically, the two players left come short. So the right back has two different options to pass to. And then they can try to feed the players that are in the box or lurking on the edge with two players back at all times. So let's make this change as well. No one looked at attacking from the edge. I don't think it's that important to have someone attacking from the edge as it is to have two players available for the short throw. Penalties, captains, yeah, all that's already set. Let me make those changes to the set pieces, to the long throws for these two. I've actually just thrown another player in the box for this one. João Felix should be on the edge, though, and he should be coming here. I don't know if I actually set these, because these players are not in the right position, really. I know, I guess it's alright. Maybe I did set it, and I'll just... Angel Cray is okay there. I need... Am I missing a player? Where's my striker? What the heck? Why are my players all on top of each other? That's weird. Once you coming short, you're lurking outside. And then finally, for the very attacking tactic, you coming here. You going to the edge. You coming here. And where's my other guy? Is he underneath him? Yes. Look, I hate how it does that. That's really annoying, but there's all my set pieces. But what we're going to do next, since I've shown the tactic, I want to give it a little run out. We're going to play against our second 11. So you can see kind of all the players we've got at the club playing in those roles. See how the tactic works. I've already done all my staff and everything like that. Well, I'm going to have the AI do the staff. I don't really care. In this kind of one season save, I'm not too worried about the staff. It's not really going to affect me that much. Maybe the physios and stuff will affect me, but coaches won't really affect anything. Players won't grow enough for it to be worth it, so I'm not focused on that. But before we do that, our vision and expectations, they want us to reach the quarterfinal of the Champions League, challenge for the La Liga, and work towards becoming self-sustainable. We'll accept that vision. And then I am looking to sell Vitolo because he just doesn't fit this tactic. They want 24 million. What's he valued at? 26. I think that's fine. Allow me to bring in some players because I kind of need another couple players. Allow me to open up some wage budget. He demands compensation of 4 point. That's a lot. Let's negotiate that. You're going to PSG. Your wages aren't going to go down that much. 3 million. Okay. Agree to that payoff. Let's advance until the game with the second 11. Shouldn't have too many. Code of conduct. Oh, yeah, I've got to do all the... Actually, I don't think I'm doing the press conferences and all that, so... This is what I do for the code of conduct. 1 week for missed training, 2 weeks every other time. If you're gone AWOL, you're immediately given 2 weeks, no matter what. If you're sent off for a second booking, you start with a week. Everything after that, 2 weeks. Get a straight red, 2 weeks, no matter what. Very strict. Really trying to keep players from getting red cards. Like, I want players to get yellow cards. Like, a bunch of yellow cards is okay for me, really. But I just don't want them to get reds. Because I want them to be physical. So I want them to get yellow cards. You know, have the occasional yellow card. but I want them to be physical. I want them to kind of set the tone of the game. Let's see. Challenge for the title, I guess. And reaching the latter stages of the Champions League. And finalize the code of conduct. And there's the squad dynamics introduction. We should be doing this game. I don't want to meet the beta. I'm going to decline that. Luis Suarez has gained Spanish citizenship. That'll be nice. Here we are for the intra-squad friendly. Let's do first 11 versus second 11. And I hate how it does this. It doubles up all of the players for whatever reason, but this is a second 11 squad's going to go with. I think it's right. Llorente is the halfback. I think that's okay. Herrera and Torreira is the volantes. Vitolo and Lamar is the Treks. I would actually prefer Yannick Carrasco to be a Trek. Don't know what just happened, but hopefully it put him there. This thing is so broken. The intra-squad friendly thing, if you're doing it with your second 11, it's so broken. Otherwise than that, this is the squad I want. So let's confirm, manage the first 11 only. There we go. Yannick Carrasco's Thomas Mars, our backup Treks. Those are our wide players that were kind of being forced to play attacking midfield. But I looked very heavily at clubs that I think would fit this tactic. Basically how I do this is I come up with the tactic in my head, and then I look for teams that fit it. And this is the closest I could get. So I think Trequartista works really well with João Felix. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I chose Atletico Madrid, because I really like him in that Trequartista role. He should be really good there. If anyone's going to have it work well, it's going to be him. So, I've never used him before, so I'm really kind of excited to use him. I'm really excited to use João Felix. And some of the other players, like Kondogbe is a player I really like. Koke and Saul are players I really like. I've never really used Jan Oblak. Luis Suarez I've used like once, I think, but he's old, and I'm not sure how exciting he is, but I think we have everything set up here. They want, that's not exactly. Key highlights. Actually, for this first game, I'll go extended. I want TV camera. A little bit higher during match, and that's everything else right. Trippier with the ball in. Gets cleared, so basically our wingbacks are going to be our only width. Our volantes hopefully will go a little bit wider. I don't know if I've actually told them to play wider. I don't remember if I had any actual players' instructions on these players. The Trequartistas are told to run wide with the ball, so there's where our width comes from. Our Trequartistas are kind of running wide outside of our striker. And they're staying wider. They're marking tighter. Our strikers tackling harder and marking tighter. Our defensive midfielders, our volantes are getting further forward and marking tighter. And our halfback is marking tighter. Our wingbacks should be on shoot less often. So when they get into a crossing position, I want them to cross. I don't want them to go for goal. I don't want them to get, even with the byline and look to shoot and hit the side netting like it always freaking does. I'm trying to get them to stop doing that. So that's what I always do on wingers or fullbacks that are looking to overlap. I want them to shoot less often. I think that's a good idea. I think it's the best way to get goals from those, or get assists from those players, is making sure they pass instead of go for goal. And that's another thing you can train on them, is look for pass instead of shot. I would highly recommend training that on the fullbacks and wingers that you're not looking to be goal scorers. If your wingers are really good, finisher, obviously you don't really want to train that on them because you want them to go for goal. But otherwise, I really like that. PPM. So Lodi with the chance down this left-hand side, though. I haven't talked much about the tactic, but not much has really gone on so far. Looks like we're going to start seeing when our first builds from the back. See, our Segundo Volantes are getting very far forward, and Luis Suarez is very good. A great finish from Luis Suarez from the edge of the area. Kind of out of nothing. Saul with the ball, as a Segundo Volante, with the ball into Suarez. He just brings it down and places it in the bottom right corner. If he can do that all season, this tactic might work, just because Luis Suarez is a heck of a player. This is what I want to see too. Kondogbe coming between the center backs, getting involved in the play, staying still further back, being a shield for the back line, providing a passing option. Our Segundo Volante is getting forward, but I don't want them on attack I want them to be a little bit more defensively cautious because they need to help the wingbacks defend the wide areas. Like that's kind of defensively, that's kind of what I want is our two Segundo Volantes to help the wingbacks a little bit, and our Trequartistas to help a little bit in the midfield, but mostly it'll be down to the halfback. Throw-ins still aren't great. I miss long throws. Suarez with another chance and another goal. He is deadly. Luis Suarez with a brace in the first 24 minutes. It's from a throw-in, so is it really anything in the tactic? I don't think so. And it's not even off a good throw-in. We gave the ball away, and we actually were able to win it back. So not impressive that way, really, but I'll take a goal however I can get it. 3 shots on target, 2 goals, both by Luis Suarez. Having a good striker helps your tactic. Surprise, surprise. Renan Lodi got injured. That's not great because we do not have very many fullbacks, like at all on this team. I'm looking to sign some more. We don't have very many center backs either. Like defenders is just completely sparse with this team. I don't know what they're doing, but like Hermoso's like their 3rd center back and he's their 2nd left back. So if they have a left back and a center back injury, they have no one else that can play left back or center back. I guess they do have a 4th center back, but they would have no one else to play left back. If we have a penalty, and Luis Suarez will take it for his hat trick in the first 37 minutes, he does not fail. Luis Suarez, a 37-minute hat trick in the debut for the new tactic. Again, this goal doesn't really have anything to do with the tactic, so I still can't really say that this tactic's good. And obviously, it's a mirror matchup. We're going against the same tactic, so we can't see what other shapes are how they're gonna affect this tactic. I mean, obviously, I'm concerned against like 4-2-3-1s with overlapping fullbacks. If our wide players will be able to handle, 2 players running at them, I'm hoping the Segundo Volantes will help them enough that they can get by with it. But it's gonna have to be tested. So that's the whole point of this. Whole point of this series. I'm delighted with your performance. Keep it up. I'm gonna keep Lodi out there for now just because I don't think I have a replacement. Can any of my subs play left back? Can't tell from there. No. So, none of our center backs can play left back either. So, you're going to have to just keep playing. Good luck. Sanchez with the ball, who's also like our best backup right back right now because we do have an injury. So, he's out for like 4 to 6 months though. So, it's not like he's going to be coming back anytime soon. So, that guy's going to be our main backup right back for the foreseeable future. Unless I can get the guy in that I'm looking to get in. I'm scouting a couple different players that can play both right back and center back. So I can get a little bit of help at center back and right back at the same time as Moussa Dembele, our backup striker, scores a pretty nice goal himself. Lamar, as a Trequartista, going wide like I told him to, putting in a ball for Dembele, who beats his man off the dribble. Who is that got beat so easily? Felipe. Pretty poor by Felipe there. And they score immediately after the start of the second half. Highlight here in the 55th minute, a throw-in for us, or for them, that is. Ball out to Sanchez, but Lodi's going to intercept it. Through to Suarez, but back to Lodi. Our Trequartista's getting forward, our Segundo Volante's getting forward, but our halfback's staying deep, providing a passing option. Saul was a little slow to get back forward, but I don't know exactly what the case was there, but he's going to look to go wide as well. That's something I like to see. Getting some width from other players in this team. Like, obviously, I have it set up so the Trequartistas get wide, but the Segundo Volantes can definitely overlap as well. Like, I think we've got ability to have a lot of weird kind of shapes and positions and players in positions you wouldn't expect them. And I think that's a good thing. Like, I like that. Players being, pretty good variety in their positions. So Volantes overlapping, underlapping. Halfback is pretty much going to stay and do his job, sit between the center backs, and when you're trying to build possession from the back, and then get a little bit forward, but still stay deep enough where you can provide a passing option and shield the back line. I think the halfback's playing kind of how I imagined it. Like, obviously, I haven't used the position much, so I wasn't really totally sure how it works. But obviously, I had to, basically by reading it, I had kind of a Suarez injury. That's not good. We should have a striker on the bench. Oliva. Let's go with Diego Lorenzo. Obviously, like I read the tooltip for the halfback, so I kind of know how it's supposed to work, but without seeing it in person, you don't really know. And it looks like the Trequartistas are getting a little bit too narrow, I think. I wish they would have had wider starting positions. Maybe that's just a one-time thing, but something I just noticed right there is that is a nice save by Jan Oblak, but he is offside. So it wouldn't have counted even if he did score it. Looks like we're going to have a free kick here. Koke is our free kick taker. He's going to put a ball in. Looking for Felipe, who made a mistake earlier in the game. Gave away the goal, but nearly helps out in getting a goal for us. His initial header is saved, but it falls to Kondogbia, but he is offside when the header was initially made, so it won't count. We're actually losing possession to our second 11, but we're dominating them in chances. Oh, Lodi's just a bruise, so he'll be fine. He's going to be out 1 to 3 days. As we kind of blew our load in the first half and kind of coasted through the second half. Haven't done a whole lot, but so far it's a good first impression for the tactic. Saul from the edge of the area. See, that's something else I wanted. I didn't want our Segundo Volantes like all rushing into the box. I did want them a little bit outside of the area too, just so I had players in different kind of levels, because obviously the halfback will stay deeper. He'll be close to the halfway line. And then our Trequartistas are definitely going to get into the box along with our striker. Our wingers will be kind of out wide, just outside the box on the wings. So I wanted our Segundo Volantes to get kind of towards the edge of the box. I don't think it's always a good idea to just load the box with players, because then it gets crowded, and defensively they crowd the box, and it's just no way to get a shot through. So you want players at different levels, and our Segundo Volantes obviously did pretty well. 2 good ratings. They're the 2 best ratings of our team other than Suarez, who of course got the hat trick, so that's why he has got such a good rating. But obviously our Segundo Volantes are doing well. I wasn't sure what the ratings would look like for those kind of players, or the halfback. Halfback an okay rating. Segundo Volantes great ratings. So Trequartistas didn't seem to do too much. They might not get amazing ratings just because they don't help out defensively. Like, they kind of get knocked because they don't do anything defensively, but I'm sure they'll create enough over the course of the season that having them as Trequartistas is going to be worth it. I don't know what other role I'd play there. Like, maybe just attacking midfielders, but that's no fun. I wanted to do something a little bit different, so I wanted them as Trex, something I've never really used. I'm happy with that performance. It's largely what I was looking for at this stage of the preseason. Suarez out 1 to 3 days. Lodi out 1 to 2 days. Carrasco out 2 to 3 weeks. That's unfortunate. But yeah, I think this tactic's going to be good. I accidentally took Saul out. Hopefully this will work well. Obviously our last tactic with Bayer Leverkusen, once we fixed it, we had to do a little bit of work on it. But once we got it working, it worked very well. I'm not going to spoil it, but the season goes well. I'll just say that. The season goes well. It was a good tactic. I think I rated it 9 out of 10. So maybe this can be a 10 out of 10. We'll see. They'll have to do pretty well to get that kind of rating. It'll have to do pretty dang well to get a 9 out of 10. Like, that's how good that last tactic was. I think we definitely overachieved. This one's a little bit different because I think we have a lot more talent, like a buttload more talent than Bayer Leverkusen have. So now we need to make it show. My goal for this series with Atletico Madrid, I want to win the La Liga. I think obviously in real life, they're about to or have won the La Liga by now. I think they already have won the Liga. I'm recording this a little bit in the past. But, so they've probably won the Liga. So it is possible with Atletico Madrid. So I want to do that. I want to win the Liga. I want to beat Bayern. I want to beat Barcelona. I want to beat Real Madrid. Top 3 at minimum will be acceptable. But really, they should be getting top 3 no matter what. So that's no big deal. That's not saying the tactic is amazing if they get top 3, because they should be doing that anyways. So I want to win La Liga, and I want to at least get to the final of the Champions League. I think that's something that's attainable. If this tactic is as good as I hope it can be, we can do that. We can get to the final of the Champions League. Winning it, and that would go above and beyond what I think this tactic is really capable of. Like, if we win the Champions League and win the Liga, that might be a 10 out of 10 tactic. Depending on how well we did on the season, how well we won, how we won, it'll all come down to that. But yeah, that's the goal for the save. So that's going to be it for the first episode, though. Our next episode, we will start the Liga season. I'll do all these friendlies off camera. We'll start with Levante and Celta Vigo. We don't play Real Madrid for a little while. We don't play Barcelona for quite a while, not until January. So we won't be seeing them early in the season. We'll see Athletic Club pretty early. Villarreal, Valencia, and Real Madrid all back-to-back is a pretty tough stretch. But I'll be back for Levante and Celta Vigo. If you've made it this far, why don't you like the video, subscribe, and click the bell. The links to all my socials are also in the description. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time.